Hello again. So I am going to do another elementary review. Last week I did the pilot episode, and since another week has gone by, the new episode has aired. It aired last night, and well, I had a headache, and I did watch it. I don't think I was as into it as I was last week. The episode was called "While You Were Sleeping," and the premise of it was that these people were being murdered. They would get shot in the head by this killer, and during the case, the detective who was working with Sherlock thought that Sherlock was wrong, and obviously he wasn't wrong, but the apparently a neighbor saw a woman that looked like the sister of a woman who apparently was in a coma. And what ended up happening was the doctor who was overseeing the twin, they weren't identical twins, they were fraternal twins. And so Sherlock thought if the one that was in the coma didn't do it, then the one that the one that wasn't a, who was in a coma couldn't possibly have done it, so it had to be the other twin. But that was wrong, because actually it was because a neighbor had spotted the woman who was in the coma at the scene of the crime on the stairwell for, I think it was the first murder. It was either the first or the second, because there were only two murders that happened in the episode, and but that wasn't the case. That was actually the girl, the coma patient, because what happened was her doctor, she was having a thing with the doctor, and her and the doctor's wife found out about it, and I think that's what happened. Yeah, because he didn't have the ring at the end of the episode, and so he kept pulling her out of the coma when he found about, because her and her sister parents, or was her dad or somebody died. They're very important. They have their names on different kind of foundations and whatnot. And so what happened was that he had died, and so they were about to inherit the money. One sister was nice and was willing to share, and the other one wanted them all for herself. And so they found out they had some half sisters who were going to get part of the inheritance as well. And so the girl, the apparent coma patient, she got pulled out of the coma every so often by her doctor to kill. He would get the address of the two girls, the two half sisters, and she would go and kill them. And there was a lot of disagreement, as always, with the detectives in Sherlock, because they think that he's wrong, because you know how fast he's able to solve a case, regardless if it gives him trouble or not. Like he can look at a scene and he can know things that most people would have to do weeks evidence and research about. And it was a pretty decent episode, but I won't say it was boring or anything. But it was interesting, because in the beginning of the episode, he was going to, and I think it was an AA meeting or something like that. Well, technically not AA, but it's like an AA for drug addicts or whatever. And he was like tuning them out. He was in a trance, and in the episode, he had a word that would pull him out of his trance, because he had like shut down. And I guess he was in his mind doing things, and I can't remember what the word was. This is an odd word, and I can't remember how to say it. And I think it's one of those words I would have a trouble saying even if I did remember it. But when the guy over the meeting said it, he snapped out of it, and he shouted or something. And then, because I had originally missed this, because I was watching Grey's Anatomy before Elementary came on, and so I just watched it back like a couple minutes ago, and so I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then Watson was saying that it's impossible to erase things. This was later in the episode. She's like, it's impossible to erase things you've already learned. You can't erase what you already learned. And I was like, obviously you don't know Sherlock Holmes. When he deletes things that he doesn't deem important or necessary for his capacity to download or whatever. And so he would delete things, and then they brought the violin in. She found his violin in like the hallway closet or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, he has to play it. He will play this. He kind of has to. And so he's like, that's not mine. I don't know how to play. And she's like, it is yours. It has SH engraved in it. And then she went to take a call to her boyfriend. It's not her boyfriend. He was an ex or whatever. And he set the violin on fire. And I can't remember. They were talking about something. I think talking about being able to communicate with their partners or whatever. Since she's his companion of sorts. And then I can't remember. They got in a fight or whatever. And then at the end of the episode, they were still kind of fighting a bit, as Watson and Holmes usually does, but it's kind of weird. But he picked up, I guess it's either, I think it's a brand new violin or something, and he started playing it. She was like laying in her bed, about to go to sleep, reading, and then he was playing it, and she could hear it, and I was like, oh, Sherlock, you can never be unhuman, even though you want to be. So it was a pretty decent episode. I think it's okay. It's more, to me, that one was more, I don't know, more like a CSI type deal, like CSI New York or something like that type deal, but with a slight bit of Sherlocky-ness going on there. But it was good. I hope next week's will be better. I hope so. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like it, tell me what you thought about the episode down below, and I will see you next week. Bye.